the weirdest snake attacks. Whether for hunting or defending themselves, the snakes you'll see next have developed quite unusual and terrifying techniques to attack their victims. You better not miss them. Paradise flying snake. To hunt its prey, this snake can do what you'd probably never imagine a snake would do: fly.
I don't believe you.
For real. Once the paradise flying snake spots its snack of the day, it can jump from the top and glide across the skies in a skillful gliding movement, undulating its body to catch it.
That wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
Okay, you figured it out. To achieve this snake propels itself with the lower half of its body, forms quickly into an S, and flattens its body to about twice its normal width so it can trap air. Obviously, it's a useful way to escape from its predators, but it's also a perfect strategy for landing close to its next victims like bats or lizards. The paradise flying snake lives in Southeast Asia, and its venom is harmless to humans, so you can rest easy if one ever jumps on you. Spider-tailed horned viper. Do you see this huge spider? Well, it wasn't a spider, but the tail of this fearsome snake. No, this isn't a rare hybrid resulting from a wrong experiment. It's the spider-tailed horned viper. This reptile has a bulb-like protrusion bordered by long drooping scales at the end of its body, which resembles an arachnid at first glance. Can you guess what it's for?
To lure their victim.
Exactly. This snake waves its tail to attract the attention of nearby birds that mistake it for an appetizing snack. However, once one of them goes to catch it, the spider-tailed horned viper strikes by digging its teeth, thus turning the poor birdie into its lunch of the day.
Ah! You see? Out here, I'm just an hors d'oeuvre.
This species only lives in western Iran, and if you were wondering, yes, it is venomous. So if you ever walk around there, please don't collect bugs. Common vine snake. The attack of this impressive snake is so mysterious and strange that it even has a dark myth behind. The common vine snake is known as a Hadala, which in Sinhalese means eye plucker, due to the belief that once it catches a victim, it fiercely strikes at their eyes with its pointed snout until they're blind.
Oh my god, that's awful!
It surely is. Luckily, this is still part of popular folklore, although the actual facts aren't less terrifying. This snake makes use of its body shape to disguise as a vine and camouflage among lush foliage. While hidden, it uses its binocular vision to spot lizards and frogs, which it mercilessly devours whole. The common vine snake lives in India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Plus, its venom isn't deadly, but if you ever come across one, you better protect your eyes. Just in case. Bibrons stiletto snake. Do you think a snake is more dangerous if it shows its fierce fangs to scare you? Well, you're wrong. The Bibron stiletto snake is a species that can strike you with a venomous bite without even opening its mouth.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, the reptile has teeth specifically designed to hunt animals that usually hide in hard-to-reach places like burrows. Therefore, they're significantly large, hollow, and mobile. As you heard, these blades can protrude independently from the corners to stab its victims, even if it's a human holding it tightly by the head. Now imagine what it does to frogs and small mammals, its favorite dishes. This bloodthirsty species lives only in Africa, and its venom is known to be non-lethal to humans, but could cause necrosis. So now you know if you see it.
Run, bitch! Run!
Giant spitting cobra. This snake may have a common tactic while hunting its prey, but when it comes to defending itself, its attack is so unusual and dangerous that it can deprive you of one of your 5 senses forever. The giant spitting cobra is a species that, when feeling threatened, spits several times directly into the face of whoever is bothering it. which would be just disgusting if it wasn't for the fact that it isn't saliva, but venom. That's right, this discharge is full of powerful neurotoxins and cytotoxins, which can cause a strong necrotizing effect if it comes into contact with the skin, so whoever gets spat at may be disfigured. But that's not the biggest problem. If this venom gets into your eyes and isn't treated immediately, it may cause permanent blindness.
No! Anything but that!
You can meet the giant spitting cobra in East and Northeast Africa, just don't upset it. Tentacled snake. Imagine that you fall into the trap of a predator, and when you finally find your way out, it turns out you cannot escape. Well, this is what happens to the victims of the tentacled snake. This aquatic reptile sets up a clever ambush to catch fish, tricking them into going in the wrong direction when they try to escape.
Wicked.
Its deadly trap happens within seconds. The snake first curls itself into an upside-down J shape and patiently waits for a fish to approach. It then creates a disturbance in the water by moving part of its body, which makes the poor animal feel in danger and escape in a reflex movement directly to its mouth, meeting a horrible ending. This clever strategy of the tentacled snake is so incredible that it's still being researched by science. You can see it up close if you go to Southeast Asia. It isn't dangerous for people. Puff adder. Surely you already know that snakes use their tongue to sense their surroundings, but trust me, that's not the only thing. The puff adder even uses it to lure its prey to voluntarily go into its mouth.
What are you talking about?
You see, on a regular day, this snake ambushes to hunt, but when there's a toad around, the situation changes. In this case, the puff adder extends its tongue, leaving the tip curled up, and starts to wag it slowly, mimicking the movements of a tasty insect.
What? Oh no. No, no, no.
Forget it, pal, resistance is useless. But that's not all. When it comes to birds, this reptile also uses its tail to attract them. Yes, just like the spider-tailed horned viper. Wow, when it's eating, this predator, native to Morocco and Western Arabia, seems to have an attack plan for everything. And if that wasn't enough, it's usually aggressive towards humans as well. Cuban boa. Everyone agrees that a single snake is quite terrifying, but how about several of them attacking at the same time? Well, this nightmare can come true with the Cuban boa. Unlike most of its fellas that are known to be solitary, this snake gangs up to get food. Its modus operandi is to hang from the ceiling at the cave entrance where bats live, positioning themselves very close together. This way, they can block the entire opening, so these poor winged animals have nowhere to go. Then, it just has to grab its tasty snacks from midair with its mouth. Amazing, right?
You're right.
In fact, this coordinated hunting was so impressive to scientists that it's been extensively studied. The Cuban boa inhabits Cuba and some adjacent islands. Gerard's water snake. If you've ever enjoyed a crab feast in the summer, you certainly know how delicious yet tough they are. Now imagine how difficult it must be for the Gerard's water snake to try and eat them.
What? Hey, they can't do that!
Well, it has a good strategy. The attack of this snake focuses on catching live crabs while they're molting. As you heard, this reptile waits for the exact moment when these crustaceans molt their hard shell to replace them with a new soft one, so it can calmly tear them apart to eat them.
Snack.
Yes, unlike its cousins, the Gerard's water snake doesn't swallow its victim whole. It has better manners. In fact, it has to do it quickly, since it only has 20 minutes before the molting process ends. That's what I call living, or rather, eating on the edge. This snake only lives in Asian countries and is slightly venomous, so don't get too confident if you find it. And now, get ready to meet a snake with a pretty twisted hunting method, literally. Elephant trunk snake. Can you imagine being suffocated to death and, as if that wasn't enough, being tortured by a piercing object?
Please, God, no.
Well, this terrifying attack method is used by the elephant trunk snake. This aquatic reptile hunts fish and frogs by ambushing them, and once it catches them, it squeezes the life out of them through a strong constriction. But that's not the worst part. The loose skin of this snake is covered with sharp scales, which prevent the victim from escaping its relentless death grip. Scary, isn't it?
Yes.
The elephant trunk snake isn't venomous, but neither is it a friendly animal to humans. So if you ever try to hold it roughly, it won't hesitate to pierce your skin with its sharp, inward curving teeth. The species inhabits the coastal regions of India and Ceylon. You can also find it across the Indo-Australian islands as far as the Solomons. Be careful if you see it swimming in a lake. The attack methods of these snakes have disturbed me so much that right now I'm glad to not be a mouse or a frog. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, turn on the bell, and subscribe to TrendMax. And if you want to meet more amazing animals, watch this and this video.